So if there was, God forbid, a conflict involving the U.S., involving South Korea and North Korea, what are we looking at?
Let me go to this map, if I can. First of all, again, for orientation, Seoul and its proximity to the demilitarized zone is what we call this, and then Pyongyang is up here. These two, by point of reference, is where the missile launches have been taking place and where the missile development and nuke development is taking place. So if the North Koreans were going to invade, there are two essential invasion corridors. One is from the town of Kaesong, and it goes further south to the South Korean town of Musan. And then the other one is the Chorwon corridor. So these two corridors vector right into Seoul. But what you see today is a heck of a lot of urbanized glass buildings, residential parks, business, industrial parks that exist. So all these invasion corridors now are what we call urbanized, very compartmentalized terrain, not valleys. Also, let me point this out. You can see the mountain ranges that exist up here in the north, from about northwest to northeast, like this. But what's important to point out, let me do this, on the north slope of these mountain ranges is where the artillery pieces are located in caves. So the worst thing that could happen is the zero warning scenario where these artillery pieces are brought out and then they start to launch into Seoul.
And if launching, we're talking about conventional weapons.
Dumb weapon
right.
systems, yep.
You're talking about how many missiles going towards Seoul, how many rockets, and the effect, and how quick? 'Cause we're talking, what, seconds?
Seconds. Flight time is probably 45 seconds to a minute.
That's how long it would take a rocket going from here into Seoul.
These are artillery pieces, exactly correct, and rockets and missiles are kind of co-located with here as well. And the only thing we can do initially is there's going to be a blow in Seoul. It's going to be hit. There will be death. There will be some destruction that occurs. But our Air Force is so capable. What will happen is our Air Force will make this kind of a motion to come down flight path to go after this, because you can only, after these artillery pieces, because you can only attack those from the north to the south.
But a lot of these are in caves, you're saying?
They're in caves, but they have to pull them out to fire them. When they start to fire them, they become very vulnerable.